Hey everybody, so in this video we're going to be looking at a new Racerstar motor. It's the BR2206 2300KV motor. It's a little bit different than the BR2205 series. It has this prop adapter that gets mounted to the top of the bell here, and you can see on one of the other ones here, you can see it has holes here for that adapter, and this is what it looks like. It just uses some M2 screws to mount this little prop adapter. And with this on there, you get this a little washer, and you get this bolt style nut that goes on top. This is a little bit bigger and quite a bit heavier than the 2205 motor. So let me bring out that motor and we can compare the weights. Okay, so here's a 2205 2600 kV motor, and the 2300 kV motor is going to be the same size and specs as this one. So this one weighs 27 grams. This is obviously without the nut, just the wires and no screws. And the 2206 motor comes in at 36.48, so 36.5, so it's about 9.5 grams more weight for this motor than this motor. So what's interesting about these two motors, other than the fact that the 2206 weighs almost 10 grams more than the 2205, is when you look at the product spec sheet for these two motors, especially for the kind of props that you'd use for these, on a 4S battery with a 5-inch propeller, the 2205 motor generates about 950 grams of thrust at 14.8 volts, but the 2206 motor only generates 800 grams of thrust on the same voltage. However, the watts drawn are significantly lower on the 2206 motor, which basically tells you that it's a bigger motor. You're going to probably have more lower end torque, and it's going to be more efficient, so maybe more flight time. So, if you're looking at the 2206 motor and thinking this is going to give you tons more power because it's a little bit bigger motor than the 2205 motor, I would say probably not. And I'm going to actually mount this to my X220 frame and actually do some tests and see how it actually feels. My expectation is that it's probably going to have some better flight times in terms of longer flight times, but probably not as much power, and especially on the top end. Maybe a little more torque on the lower end. So we'll take a little closer look at the motor itself. The bottom has a C-clip. This is not a hollow shaft. There's a shaft here you can see on the one that doesn't have the prop adapter that goes through all the way, and then you have the prop adapter mounted to the top there. So I guess it's good that if you bend these little shafts here, the top ones, you could get replacements for those, whereas you have to replace the entire bell on this guy here. Let's go ahead and get these mounted onto my X220 and let's see what they look like. Okay, so I'm spinning these by hand, and you want to hear this because this is pretty interesting. So this one sounds really smooth. So let me bring this closer to the camera and to the microphone. You can hear it. It's pretty smooth. And this one is a little bit less. You can hear the bearing a little bit. And this one over here, let's see here. Not too bad. And this one here is really bad. Hear that? The bearing on this one is totally shot. It works, but it sounds like terrible. So 1 out of 4 of these motors is well, at least the bearings are no good. Okay, got the motors all mounted on my X220 here, and let's got it powered on here. Let's throttle it up and see what the motor sound like.